Good morning. We've just woken up. It's about 7 in the morning. Some cool sounds coming out of the jungle, just a few birds and things like that. And of course the river flowing behind us. Just got some coffee and tea and we'll have some brekkie pretty soon. Didn't sleep too badly, all things considered. Basically, we're sleeping on just mats like this. Welly was wise enough to bring a mosquito net, which I think was a good idea. It's a big one, so that could actually cover both of us. But yeah, that's about it as far as what we slept on the ground. The plan for today, we've actually modified the plan somewhat, talking to Iwan, our guide, last night. So we were going to stay at a particular campsite tonight and then another one the next night. But we're actually going to bypass tonight's one and go straight to the next one, and we'll spend 2 nights there. It does mean we will actually have a bigger day of trekking today. We're more or less going to zigzag all the way up the river to this other campsite. None of the clothes have dried from last night, but it's kind of to be expected. I reckon they're actually even wetter than they were than when we put them to dry up. How's that for a sandwich? 4 layers. And we're off for our second day in the jungle. Now today's super stylish accessory, because we'll be spending a lot of time walking down the river, are these river shoes here. Super stylish, quite comfy actually. I only got them for 20,000 Indonesian rupiah. I think that's about $2 Australian, so cheapest pair of shoes ever bought. There are definitely some benefits of walking along and through the river versus through the jungle. Firstly, it's flat. We don't have to go up and down like we did yesterday. And then it's so refreshing. Like the water is like surprisingly cold and really good just to have a bit of a splash around your face to cool down. The further we go into the national park, the further you kind of head into the territory of some of the larger mammals like elephants, deer. Sumatran rhino used to run abundant here, but now it's thought there's less than 30 left in this national park, and even tigers as well. But again, their numbers are really, really low. And of course, when you're in the jungle, you'll find leeches. Nice fat one too. I think he's been there for a while. So this spot here, we're just walking through, seems pretty popular with the elephants. Lots of poo around, but there's like a bit of a stream, big open area, footprints. But with elephants, it can be so hard to tell how long ago they were last here. Could have been days, could have been weeks, could have been a few hours before we came. So that one looks pretty fresh. Jeez. Hi there. It's probably about 24 hours since you last saw me, 24 hours since I've picked the GoPro up, and there is a pretty good reason for that. Soon after lunch yesterday, we got hit by the biggest downpour. It only lasted about an hour, but mate, it came down hard. And priorities kind of shifted. There's bugs flying all over the lens. Priorities kind of shifted from doing a vlog and enjoying our leisurely jungle river trek to keeping everything as dry as possible, including all our camera gear. Welly's quite the photographer as well, so we had to get all that into the dry bags. Clothes we had to keep in there because we wanted some dry clothes once we got to camp. Yeah, and it was pretty hectic. You know, the river levels rose. We're wading up to, you know, kind of like our belly buttons at some point trying to get across the rivers. But it was an experience. Shame I couldn't capture any on film for you, but hey, they don't call it the rainforest for nothing. And this morning, the weather was fantastic again, beautiful blue skies, but I decided to take a little bit of time off filming. One thing I'm starting to discover is trying to combine wildlife travel with a vlog is quite difficult. I have to admit I'm struggling. I'm getting quite frustrated at times. you go out with an idea of what you want to see, and if you don't see it, it's kind of like, is that vlog a failure? Is it false advertising for what I'm trying to promote? You know, I've told you how amazing Sumatra is, and I do stand by that, but it can be quite frustrating for me. I'm still kind of figuring it all out, and I want to do something a little bit unorthodox here, in that I want to show you some of the footage that I got from this same location last year. So last year was just a 2-night trek, as I did mention, and we did stay closer to the village, and we saw so much stuff. We came out of peak season, which could be a reason why we're a bit more successful. But to be fair, we've heard some wildlife, but haven't really seen anything these last 2 days on the river. What I'm starting to realize more and more doing this vlog is it's not always going to be about the wildlife. It's going to be more about the experience and, you know, nature as a whole. So without further ado, here is some footage from last year's time here in North Sumatra. Let me know what you think. All right, so we've just finished our last day of jungle trekking. The camp we're at now, we'll stay at before we leave on the tubes. 2 hours back down the river, they reckon, back to Bukit Lawang in the morning. So today was all jungle, again, a lot of up and down, up and down. The last 2 days before that were mainly on the river, but to be fair, I think I'm gonna sleep really well tonight. It's been a pretty exhausting journey, I gotta tell you. And I'm really, really looking forward to that ride back down the river, getting back to Bukit Lawang. Okay, so it might be kind of hard to hear me because I've got the waterproof case on. We're just packing up everything into the plastic bags now. The last thing you want is everything to fall out in the river, never to be seen again, and get wet and damaged. So yeah, about to get on our one-way ticket back to civilization. 2-hour ride down the Bohorup River. It's gonna be sick. So we hit a bit of a blockage. Going over. Got it. Do a flip, buddy. Alright, so we're back here in Bukit Lawang, just checked into our guest house, the same one that we stayed in before we left into the jungle. And yeah, it's quite nice to be back. I'm looking forward to sleeping on that bed tonight instead of our sleeping mats. The jungle's amazing, but after a while you just really look forward to those creature comforts. It took us over 2 hours to get back down the river, so we really were right out in the guts of the national park. It was raw nature out there, like that's all you can really say to explain it. It was definitely an eye-opening, memorable experience, one that I'll take with me for a very, very long time. And yeah, I definitely recommend spending maybe not 4 nights, maybe 1 or 2 nights, maybe a week, depends on what you like, but spend some time out in that jungle because I guarantee you won't regret it.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me at JJEmerson_wildlife on Instagram to see some of my favorite photos from this trip, and also subscribe to my channel here on YouTube because I've got plenty more videos coming.